Okay, now what do we learn here today?
Now, Cable in the classroom comes home.
In the next half hour, Weather Center, a comprehensive national forecast. At 40 after, Weather Center continues with highway and air travel conditions. Then the weekend outlook. And at 50 after, Storm Watch. But right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
This is Jim Cantore in Freeport, Maine on a snowy weekend, a rare one at that. We haven't seen a lot of these this winter. We'll let you know how the highways are faring in just a moment. Stay tuned. Weather Center is next.
It's a snowy Saturday for those of you in the Northeast and New England, and that's our top story this afternoon. I'm Jill Brown.
And I'm Dan Atkinson. Thanks for joining us on this edition of Weather Center. And we are having an Alberta Clipper that was situated over the Great Lakes yesterday, and it's now moved into the Northeast. And you take a look at the surface features, and you can see that low pressure tracking on up the St. Lawrence Valley and producing widespread snow, light snow in many cases, but some heavy snow right now around Utica, New York, a rain-snow mix at White Plains. And on up the road in New England, we have the Weather Channel's Jim Cantore standing by live in Freeport, Maine. What's the latest there, Jim?
Hey, Dan, the latest is the snow continues to come on down, and we just had a salt crew come on through, and they put some salt on the road, so we've melted some of the slush here. But the roads are wet and in some cases slippery, like just off to the side here. You can see where the slush is starting to accumulate on the roads. And again, as I mentioned earlier, this is a rare sight because during this El Nino pattern where we typically have an active southern branch, this place just kind of goes unnoticed and it stays relatively mild, as we've really seen across a good part of the nation. But now that that northern branch has kicked in, well, you can see what's happening up here in New England. We're starting to feel the effects. Now, how are you going to feel them as you head out on the roads? Obviously, here you can see how slippery it is. Roads are slushy. If you slow down, you take it easy, allow a little extra time for the guy in front of you, things should be fine. And as you can see here in Freeport, which is a very big shopping area, LL Bean, of course, has started up here, and now everything's just kind of filled in around it. So just a huge amount of outlet stores and whatnot. And now everybody's out here and shopping. And it doesn't seem to be detouring a lot of the shoppers here, Dan. They're out and about today. But my advice to you, if you're heading out in New England, New York State where it's snowing, just slow it down, take it easy. I know your best driving skills have not been honed of late because we haven't had a lot of winter weather, so you just want to slow it down. As a matter of fact, here comes a sand truck right now. You can see one right behind us here. I'll have Mark, our photographer, pan over, and you can see he's loaded for bear. He's got 2 plows, he's got sand, and he's got a smile on his face. And you know, if you think about it, if you are a person who plows for yourself and it depends on this for income, well, it's been a poor February and even March, for that matter, for a lot of folks up here that depend on this kind of thing for income. But we got some snow today and no doubt some slippery travel, so slow it down and take it easy. We'll keep you updated here from Freeport, Maine. Right now, things are fine here in Shopping Land, USA, as we throw it back to the studio.
And thanks a lot, Jim. We'll be checking back with you. Taking a look at radar, We find widespread light snow, again, across New York and on into portions of New England. You are likely in the Boston area to have maybe an inch to 3 inches, more likely as you get into the interior areas to the north and west that you could pick up 3 to 6 inches. Some isolated areas, particularly in northern New England, you may get more than 6 inches. But in New York City, you are looking for some occasional rain. You've already had some light rain this morning. It's cloudy right now, but some more rain beginning to sweep in from the west. Occasional rain and coming to an end later on today. Along with this precipitation, which incidentally is in some cases falling in brief bursts of heavy snow, for instance at Utica, New York, some heavy snow this hour, and a rain-snow mix, moderate rain-snow mix at White Plains, New York. Across the Northeast, you also have the winds to deal with. This Clipper system kicking up a lot of wind from Sandy Hook, New Jersey, on up toward Eastport, Maine, where gale warnings are posted. Some cold air in place with 30s widespread. You're 39 now in Boston, 35 degrees in Albany, Elmira 34, Pittsburgh 35. What are the wind chills? Well, let's take a look. It's 9 at Rochester and Elmira, 5 your wind chill at Erie, Detroit 4. Looking further to the west, the wind chills are bitterly cold across the northern plains as another batch of Arctic air spills southward. You're below 0 in the wind chill at Bismarck and at Minot. These are the actual air temperatures. Chicago, you're 28, Des Moines 22, and you can see the 24-hour temperature change across the plains as this cold air has moved in. Fortunately, it's not going to dive all the way to the south, but rather make its way on across the Great Lakes. And the Midwestern map shows still some light snow falling across portions of the Great Lakes, lake effect snow as we see on radar. You can see how those cold winds are sweeping on southward, picking up the moisture off the lakes and dumping some snow for you around Traverse City on over towards Saginaw. High pressure keeping most of the southeast dry. Some rain over Texas and Louisiana. Jill has details on that coming up. But first off, 63 now in Atlanta, 64 in Panama City, 66 in Charleston. Quite a warm-up from that bitterly cold weather earlier in the week. Jill?
Okay, thanks, Dan. Last night, several waterspouts were reported off Orange County and Los Angeles counties as well. Today, rain is falling, and that situation will decrease as the afternoon goes on. So let's take a look at conditions in the southwest. And, well, that rain may not have left as quickly as you would have liked, so your outdoor plans are on hold for now. This is going to be a very slow-moving storm system. It is not a real heavy rain producer, but when we've seen a few of those thunderstorms, like we had yesterday, and we have a few more today, Blythe reporting a thunderstorm this past hour, yeah, you could get a quick downpour of some heavier rain. So improving around Los Angeles, the rain is heading east. Phoenix, a little bit damp today. As you get up in elevation, you'll find some snow. Snow advisories are in effect, and on the lower elevations, you can see just a few lightning strikes. So we'll have a few thunderstorms to contend with. We'll have a little bit of snow to contend with as well. But we've never got the real heavy rain that would have caused a lot of problems, no doubt about it. You can see here where we have the darker green, maybe an inch to a few locations, maybe getting an inch and a half of rain. That's probably about the limit in California. Texas was the